All right, good morning. It's a nice Friday morning. Hopefully, I'm recording this Thursday evening, so hopefully it's actually nice on Friday morning. So I'm going to do this in a one lesson, so that way you don't have two links that you have to go to. We're finishing up this unit, and then you're going to have a unit test on our unit review on Monday, and then the unit test Tuesday. So just to give you a heads up that we're wrapping this one up. So I'm going to share my screen here with you guys. So we are going to look at solving multi-step equations, which hopefully isn't too difficult, and then solving equations with fractions. So we're going to start off with the multi-step equations. Just trying to get my pen here. So multi-step equations means that there's going to be an x on the one side as well as an x on the other side, and some numbers, obviously. It's math. So your goal is to get all of the letters onto one side of the equation and all of just the constant numbers onto the other side. So that way you can solve the variable. So if we look at the first example, we've got 5x minus 8 equals x plus 8. So what you're going to want to do is you want one side to have the x's and the other side to just have numbers. So keep in mind that whatever you do on one side, you have to do the opposite onto the other side. So for example, on the left side here, I'm going to keep the x's there. So I want to move this. So here it's being added. So you see there's nothing in front of the x. So that means that it's plus. So on the other side, it's going to become negative. Okay, and we're going to put the numbers on this on the right side. So we've got 8 that is just going to stay there. That means that we want to move this minus 8 onto this right side. So because it's minus 8 here, on the other side is going to be plus 8. Okay, so that was our first step. We put our letter side and our number side. And then all you have to do is you have to simplify. So you're simply just going to add them up. So you're going to do 5x minus x, which gives us 4x. And then you're going to add the other side. So 8 plus 8, which is 16. I'm not going to type the next one. And as we've seen previously, once we want to try finding x, you have to do the opposite operation of it. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. So that cancels that out. So we're going to be left with 4 equals 16 divided by 4, which is 4. Okay. So I'm going to type the next one out until we have to do division. So the first step, again, get the letter side together and then put the number side. So I'm going to keep the letter side. I find it's always easiest to leave the letter side on the left, and then leave the number side on the right. So we're going to have 2x, and because this 5x here is being added, we're going to subtract it on this side. So the opposite. We're going to keep our 10 and our 3. And because we're moving this over onto the right side, it's going to become minus 7. Okay, so you're going to put your like terms together now. So you're going to do 2x minus 5x, which gives us negative 3x. And then we've got 10 plus 3, which is 13, minus 7, which gives us 6. So again, once you get to this step, you have to divide. So you're going to have to divide both sides by negative 3. Remember that the negative is a Siamese twin with whatever number is there. So that cancels that one out. So we are left with x equals 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. Okay, so here we're going to keep our letter side onto the left. So we've got our 4m that's already there. We're going to move our minus 3m. So because we're moving it, it becomes a plus Same with our minus 4m over here will become plus 4m. We're going to put our equal sign. We already have the 30, so the 30 is going to stay there. And because this is -3, onto this side, it's going to become plus 3. So we're going to add those all up. So 4 plus 3 plus 4m becomes 11m. And then 30 plus 3 becomes 33. Finally, our next step is to divide both sides by that number. So 11. That cancels that out, and we're left with m is equal to 33 divided by 11, which is 3. Same thing here, so we're going to keep our letter side. So we've already got w and minus 3w that's on that side, but we've got a minus 6w on this side, so we're going to add it on the other side. And we've already got our 1 that's there. And then our plus 13 here is going to be minus 13 on the other side. So w minus 3w plus 6w is going to give us 4w. And then 11 minus 13 is -12. Divide both sides by our numbers, so 4. That cancels out. So we've got w is equal to -12 divided by 4 gives us -3. So I'm going to clear this and we're going to keep going. So here we've got a reminder of the distributive property. So you would have looked at that yesterday as well as in grade 9. So hopefully you do remember it. So this is the rainbow effect. So what we do is we multiply both numbers inside of the bracket by the number outside. So we're going to do 6 times 2x, which gives us 12x. And then we're going to do 6 times -3, which is -18. So that is called expanding, or the distributive property. And the reason for this is because we're going to have some multi-step equations that you're going to have to do that. So it is important that you understand how to do it, and hopefully you recall it from grade 9. So I'm clearing that. Okay, so we've got a few examples here where you do have to do it. So your first step is going to be to expand, and then you can do everything else that we just did. So you're going to expand here. So you're going to do 4 times k, 4 times -2. So 4 times k gives us 4k. 4 times -2 gives us -8. And you can rewrite the rest of the equation. Again, like we had seen just previously, you want to put your letters together on that left side, put your numbers on the right side, and then you can solve. So we're going to keep our 4k there. Because the 9k is being added on the right side, we're going to subtract it on this side. We're going to keep our 2, and then we're going to move that -8. So because it's -8 on the one side, it's going to become +8 on that side. So finally, we're going to simplify. So you put your like terms together. So 4k minus 9k is going to give us -5k. And then 2 plus 8 is 10. And we're going to divide both sides by -5. So it cancels this guy out. Whatever you do on one side, you have to do to the other. And that is going to give us k is equal to 10 divided by -5, which is -2. Okay, so here you're going to look again. Oh, wow, we have to expand here. So we're going to do 5 times g, 5 times -2, and then you move forward with the rest. So this stays the same. The only thing that changes is where the bracket is, because we want to get rid of the bracket. So 5 times g is equal to 5g. 5 times -2 is -10. and then plus 11. Our next step again is to put our letters on one side and our numbers on the other. And then you're going to simplify it. So 3g minus 5g is negative 2g. And then negative 10 plus 11 plus or minus 1 is 0, which conveniently is pretty easy. So you're going to divide both by negative 2. So anything 0 divided by anything is always going to give you 0. So our answer here is 0. Okay, so if we look at this one has 2 that needs expanding. So we're going to do 8 times x times 8 times 3. And we're going to do our little rainbow effect over here as well, so we know. And then you're going to write it out. So 8x plus 24 is equal to 2x minus 6. You're going to put your letter terms together and your number terms together on the other side. So 8x minus 2x is equal to 6x. Negative 6 minus 24 is negative 30. Okay, so x is equal to negative 30 divided by 6, which is negative 5. So we're going to do the same thing with this guy. So multiply everything inside the bracket for both. So just keep in mind that that 4y that's sitting outside stays the same. And then we're going to do 5 times 7y, which is 35y. Times, so 5 times negative 3, which is negative 15. And the same thing over here. And we're going to put our like terms together onto one side. We've got negative 45 plus 15. So 4y plus 35y minus 9y gives us 30y. And then this is going to give us negative 30. I wrote it wrong on my paper. So then we're going to divide both sides by 30. So negative 30 divided by 30 is equal to negative 1. Okay, so I'm clearing this. You've got quite a few practice questions, so if you have any difficulties, let me know and I will help you out. You will have to do this one on line paper. And then finally, we have our very last lesson of this unit. So solving equations with fractions. So what you're gonna have to do first is you're gonna have to get rid of this denominator. So what's happening right here is you've got 4y minus 2 over 9, which is also a division. So in order to get rid of that, hold on, I'm gonna bring this all up. In order to do that, what you have to do is you have to multiply both sides by 9. So that way it gets rid of that fraction. And it's gonna give us exactly what we had previously. So whatever you do on one side, you have to do on the other. So then we're going to be left with 4y minus 2. And then 8 times 9, which is 72. Then you're going to do your distributive property. So you're going to do 4 times y, which is 4y. 4 times negative 2, which is minus 8. And then 72. And then from there, you should be able to simplify. So you're going to do 4 times y is equal to 72 plus 8, which is 80. And then you're going to do divide by 4. So exactly like what we've been doing. And that'll be 20. So you should be able to do that, hopefully. Same thing here. So this is being divided. So we're going to have to times that. So that cancels out our 3's. So you're going to be left with 2k plus 3 is equal to 12. Then you're going to distribute your 2 equals 12. You're going to be left with 2k is equal to 6. And then k would be 6 divided by 2, which is 3. These ones are separated, but because they have the same denominator, we can treat it as 1. So this is the exact same thing as having 4k minus k all over 7. It's the exact same thing because those denominators are the same number. You can't do that if this was a 7 and this was a 6. That wouldn't work, but in this case it does. So then you would do the same thing again. So you would multiply both sides by 7 to get rid of that denominator. So you would have 4k minus k, which we're going to simplify, and it's just 3k, is equal to negative 21. And then you're going to divide both sides by 3 again. So then k is going to be equal to negative 21 divided by 3, which is negative 7. If you get an example like this where both sides are on fractions, what you're going to do is it's almost like, well, it is cross multiplication. So you're going to cross multiply and it's going to become one equation. So you're going to do, I'm going to type this out. So we've done cross multiplication before. So you would do 3 times bracket a minus 3 is equal to 4 times a bracket a minus 2. Okay, so you should be familiar with that. Hopefully it makes sense. And then from there you distribute. So 3 times a is 3a. 3 times negative 3 will be negative 9. And then 4a minus 8. And then you're going to put all your terms on the one side. So minus 4a, negative 8 plus 9. So we are going to have negative 1a and 1. So then a will be 1 divided by negative 1, which is negative 1. So I'm going to clear this. There's one more example very similar to what we just did. Okay, so again, because there are 2 denominators, you're going to cross multiply. So this is going to be 6 times y minus 3 equals 5 bracket y plus 3 or plus 4, sorry. So you distribute your answers. You're going to put your terms all into one side. So your letters all one side and your numbers all on one side. And conveniently, y is equal to 38. I hope this makes sense. You do have practice questions that are here, and you will have your unit practice test or review on Monday and your test on Tuesday. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know and I can help. Really, the hardest part is done after this. Next is graphs, and hopefully that's simple enough for you guys. So I wish you luck. Let me know. Bye.